For a lot of people, it's sports cards, and there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Welcome into the locker room, the most sacred of spaces in sports. Talking you through the behind-the-scenes conversations that happen behind closed doors with former Nebraska football tight end Chancellor Brewington.
Chancellor Brewington, the 6-year senior tight end, finding his way into the end zone.
And former South Dakota State running back and Nebraska football assistant, Mikey Daniel.
Hand off to Daniel inside the 2 to the 1, and he powers his way into the end zone for a South Dakota State touchdown.
This is The Locker Room, brought to you by Pep Foundation Repair. Here are your hosts, Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel.
Live from Lincoln, this is The Locker Room here on 93.7 The Ticket with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel. A lot of football going on throughout the last couple of weeks. A lot of football talk coming up here on The Locker Room. Guys, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, man. It's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling, my brother?
I'm feeling great. Me personally, I'm feeling, today's an amazing day for so many reasons. It's the beginning of a new year, man.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what the new year hold, but no, I'm doing great. Man, I woke up today with fresh energy. Oh my gosh, such fresh energy and just ready to attack the whatever's to come.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I'm ready to attack it.
That's such a good feeling, the rejuvenation, man. Just being at peace. And that's kind of how I'm sitting right now, bro. Like we was talking out there. I'm just sitting in so much peace right now. My spirit is just calm, and that's a really good feeling. I want to start us off with a little quote.
Let's do it.
It's not turned up like it was yesterday with Eat Greedy, which I do love that. I still stand on we got to eat greedy this year. But it just reads this. Learn to be okay with people not knowing your side of the story. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. What do you think about that?
Woo! Fuck. My gosh. Don't have to prove anything to anyone.
Nobody.
Yeah. I think for the longest time I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
And I think probably this year was the first time I really understood that. And like you kind of like separate yourself from the pack. And with that comes a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
It comes a lot of critique. So it comes a lot of naysayers. It becomes, the people who you thought would kind of be, the cliche, people thought you'd be in your corner, they leave you, right? But it's true. I mean, that's why it's cliche, because it's true. And I think once you get to a place where you're doing what you're doing because either from a higher calling or a higher purpose, a higher source, or just simply because it's right.
Yeah.
I think that's the place that I'm finally getting to and I'm finally at. And there's levels to life, right? Yeah. So there's a next level to where I'm trying to get to. But I think it's consistently knowing that, man, nobody at the end of the day, nobody really has it figured out.
No. Ooh.
Nobody has it figured out. There's no it. There's no it for anyone. We're all trying to become. And I think that's the process of becoming is greater than it.
Right.
It's all about the becoming. So not listen to people. I think that's amazing.
I love this one because I think all athletes, everybody goes through that.
Yeah.
Right. Trying to prove themselves to whoever. I got to prove myself to my coach so I can get on the field. I got to prove myself to this coach so I can get a scholarship. I got to prove now I'm at Nebraska. I'm wherever I'm at. I got to prove myself so I can move up the depth chart. Right. Now I'm the starting guy. I'm Dylan, and I got to prove myself to the fans that I'm really worth it. Right. You're constantly in this phase of I gotta prove something, but we don't, right? And once my mindset changed from I have to prove you wrong to I have to prove myself right, my world became significantly different for the better.
Mm.
Because it doesn't matter. Like I can never please the masses.
Mm-hmm.
You never can. They'll hate you one minute, love you the next, right? And so if I live and die by that, then I'm only as good as the moment, right? And I am so much deeper than any moment, right? Ooh. And so whenever I'm stuck there, I'm like, and everybody falls on this. I don't care, even if you're not an athlete, right? Yeah. Oh, I got to prove myself at work. Yeah. I got to prove it doesn't matter. Everybody go through it, right? Yeah. And so if I can sit back and really be comfortable in the fact that I am who I'm supposed to be, nothing else matters.
Yeah, I remember I used to be playing in film. Like I used to try to prove so much at practice. Yeah. Oh, in film, I would take film so personal at times. I would because I would really try to just perfect everything and just be, whatever. Then all of a sudden I didn't get acknowledged or I didn't get whatever. And all of a sudden I'd be in film my feelings hurt, man. I just had a one-handed catch on the sideline, right? Or I just had a great block that nobody else could execute the technique until I did it, right? And so you get from football into the real world and you realize that those type of validations, come on. You have to understand that you're validated before you have to be validated before you start. You are my son. You are my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased. The validation comes before you get into the wilderness, before you get to the top of the mountain, before you're harassed, before you're put on your throne, before all these things. The validation comes before. And I think that's what I missed for the longest. But now I have peace when I walk through life because I'm already validated. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Right. I actually know sometimes I'm doing the right thing. I'm actually going in the right direction when I'm getting negative feedback.
Right. Yeah.
When people are like, "Hey, I don't know if you should be doing that." Obviously I have a set counsel that I'll go to, right? But if the masses are kind of got them little jitterbug, saying whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm probably doing the right thing right now.
We call them the sheep.
Oh yeah,
right. The people out there, the sheep. And expectation is just a figment of our imagination. So I can never put an expectation on somebody and be successful through that expectation because you'll never deliver. And then you constantly disappointed. Like, oh, I had this expectation for somebody, but one, did they even know that expectation? And two, that's the expectation you have doesn't mean they have it. And so, and they don't necessarily coexist. But I wanted to bring that up because the expectation was this team, okay, let's get to a bowl game.
Yeah.
Right. That was the original thought. And then we started off hot. We started off going 3-0.
Yeah.
Right. Boom. Now they're like, man, Dylan this, Dylan that, Nebraska this, Nebraska that. You know what? That bowl game not good enough. Let's go college football playoffs. Right. And then we lose one.
Yeah.
One. And then they say what?
Or 7 points, whatever.
Right. And now the expectation is, man, can we get to 9-3? Can we get to 10? It changes so much. It ebbs and it flows. And that's why I'm saying you can never live and die by the expectation of somebody else.
You can't. Because I mean, 9-3, that's my prediction still. Right. I'll stand on it. Now all of a sudden people are saying 6-6 after the Purdue game. Yeah. After the Purdue game.
Yeah.
You can't, it has to be this internal. It's you versus you. It's you versus you. It's team versus team. It's Nebraska versus Nebraska. It's Satterfield versus Satterfield. White versus white. Right. Rule versus rule. That's what it is. And the moment you let those things get into your create some type of mental stronghold or whatever, it's over with.
Yeah,
it's over with. And these boys are doing I would say these boys are doing a fantastic job locking in because you would have saw that manifest in the Saturday Purdue game. Yeah. The outside noise, the critiques that second half.
And here's the thing. You said 9-3. Some people say 6-6. Guess what? They better be over there saying 10-1.
Oh,
but even deeper than that, they need to be saying 1-0 because they got to get through Rutgers.
You
know what I mean? And so again, the whole idea is expectation. And how does this team have the making of a national championship team? If not, what's missing?
Woo! Bach, this is what we doing. Right after
college football playoff champions. Maybe not even can they make, what does this team need to get into that top 12 conversation?
Okay, let's start offense. A dominant running game.
Whose fault?
Coach.
Is it the fact that there's not a dominant running, or is it the fact that we're not allowing there to be?
Not allowing.
So the pieces are there.
Pieces are there.
Okay.
Have the pieces. That's more so on coaching. Dylan's playing great. Got the receivers. I mean, after this year, Banks and Nair are gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, or is
I don't know
Nair?
if Nair's gone.
Nair has a chance to get another year.
Okay, so Nair, you might retract one. Okay, cool. But these pieces that you have, you're not always guaranteed that you're obviously Ja'Cory and Card Nelson, those guys gonna get older, more experience and stuff. But you got to take advantage of what you got. I think you got the pieces at receiver. You need some O linemen.
Yeah,
you do. If you want
to
if you want to compete with, if you want to get to the college football playoffs, you want to compete with the Bamas, Georgias, the Ohio States, LSU's, the Ole Misses. You want to compete with those guys. You got to build up front O line. And then I would say on the defensive end, just a little bit more consistency. But I mean, as far as the defense, like you're doing it.
The
right?
pieces are there.
The pieces are there.
So there's not a position you're like, we could use this.
We
need T Hill back.
You need a shutdown corner. You need a shutdown corner. And I would say you need that type of D lineman, but you got him in tie, right? You need that like versatile freak that you can, all of a sudden you put him at end, you put him at D tackle, then you got Nash. So I think the D line pieces are there. I really do. And then I think a kicking game. If you're going to go to the college football playoffs, there's going to be one-score games. Things are going to come down to the wire. Last 30 seconds. You need a guy who you can trust within 38 yards, 45 yards.
You know what's crazy is that we started a true freshman last year at kicker, Tristan Alvano.
Right.
And then we started another true freshman this year for our place kicking. So I know Coach Rule is a great judge of talent in this and the third. I'm pressed to wonder why Tristan is not the guy. And it's not like he was bad last year.
Right.
He actually was pretty good. And not only that, but you now you get over the true freshman nerves, and like you said, you're a year older, you're wiser, you're mature, and you've been in it. So now you put a kid who's again a true freshman in that position, and I'm just wondering why.
I think that it's going to pose a question, especially in the off season. You throw some money at a kicker, you have to. I think you go in the portal and you find a kicker or someone who's established themselves. But kickers are such a. We had a kicker while I was here. Pac, you're gonna have to help me out. Who was the kicker? He came from LSU, the championship team, the 2019 team.
Hold on. You don't know your kicker's name?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Connor Culp.
Connor Culp. Yeah, my bad. Connor Culp. Connor Culp. I'm sorry, Connor, if you saw this. Culp. We had Culp. He came from LSU championship 2019 team.
Yeah.
I had a natty, right?
Yeah.
And so we're thinking, he comes over, right? 2020, I believe. He has a good 2020 year, and then 2021 something just happens. And so I feel like the kicking game is like it's so hard to judge. Alvano was great in high school, making 50-yarder after 50-yarder. Then all of a sudden you get to college and there's like certain, loopholes he has to get through. So it's so hard to judge a kicker. I think you still go out and get another kicker.
Wow. So you have you have a true freshman, and then you have another freshman, a redshirt. Well, I guess he didn't redshirt, so he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
And you say go get another one.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, you're gonna have to have a harsh conversation with one of them and say, "Hey, I don't think we're gonna go out and get a kicker, right?" And be transparent. Because if things don't pan out, right? This is me in the anticipation of them missing a couple more throughout the year in key moments, right? But if they end up just Hole ends up locking in or Alvano ends up locking in, I honestly still think you go out and get a kicker.
Are we doing a disservice by not? Okay, if you're the coach, what is your job, right? This is a freshman, so you're supposed to do what? Develop.
Yeah.
Right. Why? I'm seeing fall off at a receiver position right now. If you go from last year to right now, it's a fall off in the receiver room. These cats that came in that are balling right now, one of them true freshman, so ain't no development. He just raw.
Like that.
He's raw. So you can't take credit for that, right? The other two transferred.
They're already developed.
The ones that we had playing last year, gone. They're there, but they're not existent right now Big Lloyd, who went crazy last year as a true freshman, barely heard of. Malachi, redshirted, right? Like AB, he'll look at the field and make a block. He made a phenomenal block for Ja'Cory to go score him the other day, by the way.
Yeah.
IGC,
I haven't seen him at receiver.
you watch him catch some punts. That's about it.
Yeah.
Right? All of them. Is that a them problem?
Yeah.
You gotta start to wonder.
Honest?
Go ahead. This is the locker room.
Yeah, this is the locker room. Come on, hold on, Bach. I forgot where I was.
Yeah, come on now.
I forgot where I was for a second. I think I don't think it's their problem at all. The bulk of the penalties that we're seeing are from the receivers.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Okay. We all understand that, right?
Yeah.
Blocking the back, hold, all these different things. They're coming from the receiver, right? So anytime you see a penalty, okay, not only does it fall back on the coaching, but it falls back on technique.
Right.
Falls back what you do in Indy.
Yep.
Falls back on hand placement, foot placement, and all that falls back on coaching.
Yeah.
And as harsh as that is, it's just the fact of it. It's just how it works. And so when you look at the receivers, I'm gonna be honest with you, when you look at the tape, they should be going off even more. Even more.
There you go.
It's just like there's a lot of undisciplined things going on. This guy just jogging backside of a route. He not running his route full speed. Dylan's expecting him to be in a window. And it's weak. And now you see it on UTEP game, right?
Yeah.
You're like, and then all of a sudden you see it show up against Colorado. You're like, wait, I thought this should be corrected by now. And then you see it show up UNI week. You're like, hold on, who's is someone coaching this? And then you see it show up Illinois week when you really need it. And now you're like, oh no, this has to fall back on the coaching. It has to. So that's my take on it. I think it falls back on the coaching. And you're a young guy at the receiver coach. I understand that. But at the end of the day, these guys need the best coaching.
Yeah.
And the best coach I ever had was Sean Beckton, tight end coach, Nebraska, played receiver at UCF. But one thing he made us do, he used to make us draw plays, right, on the whiteboard.
Okay.
But the way he would make us draw the plays, if it was let's say it was a post route or a corner or whatever, he would make us draw it straight, just like we were running. Draw it straight, hard 45 angle, just like at 12 yards. A possibility of breaking it at this, whatever, route adjustment. But those are the type of things that good coaches do, and it beats into the player's head that this is the standard of the room, right? And so you're not really seeing you're seeing a standard in explosive plays, playmaking in the receiver room, but you're not seeing a standard of, I would say, discipline. I would say good technique in the blocking game, and I would say a want to in the blocking game as well.
It's crazy because every tight end that I've talked to continue to tell me that about this Beckton guy.
Oh my gosh.
All of them. They all told me the same thing. I don't know anything about him, but I've heard nothing but great things about him.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. When I tell you 90%, I would say 85% of what I know about football is all from him.
Wow.
You
need that coach.
It changed your life.
Go ahead.
It teaches you that taught me more about life than football.
Wow.
And we didn't really talk about life. It was all about football.
Right.
But the attention to detail. I mean, we would be in walkthrough and he would teach me how to get mental reps. Like how to. And then he would teach me, okay, if you really want to get good during a walkthrough, you should be doing every play on the sideline.
Right.
Or if you really want to get good at watching film, this is how you watch cutups. This is how you do this. Man, now I'm watching film in life.
Ooh.
They don't know. Man, I'm watching film on life. I'm watching film on finances. I'm watching film on. I'm learning. There's principles. It's like in physics. The principles in physics. You can take those principles in physics and apply them to anything in life. Principles. You can use the principles anywhere. And so the principles I learned from football, I can learn them in life. Right. I can apply them in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we come back from break, I want to continue down the route of development. And the one I want to hit on is the weight room and Coach Corey Campbell.
Well, there you have a little preview to what's coming up next here on The Locker Room. We'll be right back after this break.
you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bozin. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe Nebraska is a great place to work and raise a family. My husband Reggie and I are local family business owners and proud to be involved in our community. Property tax relief is important to every family. Last year, I voted for the largest property tax relief package in Nebraska history, and I will continue to advocate for property tax relief. Vote Carolyn Bozin on November 5th. Paid for by Bozin for Legislature.
Question for you. Would you rather pay $150 a month or $15 a month to work out with the same high-quality gym equipment? At Planet Fitness, you can get top-tier equipment for $15 a month. Plus, save $28 or more when you join now during our Strong Choice sale. Our weights weigh the same, you just don't pay the same. Enjoy free fitness training and 24-hour access at most clubs, all in the judgment-free zone. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. See club for details.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best boxing on Saturday, October 5th with Roughnecks at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. 8 bouts are scheduled for the night, including the main event of Dwayne Johnson and Jack Lawless Frericks in the Professional Middleweight Championship bout. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Hi, this is Jay Foreman. Join me, Old School, live from Cornhusker Bank at 83rd and O Street this Friday for their Customer Appreciation Tailgate Party from 4 to 6 p.m. Larry the Cable Guy will join us during the show, and there's free food and refreshments. That is this Friday from 4 to 6 at Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and O Street.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store. Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
On the block with Strick and Austin.
Nebraska football banked 3 wins early. It had to do that. Seeing the win against Purdue, seeing the win against Northern Iowa, even Colorado, I feel like, at least for me, the wins have been secondary. I've been trying to nitpick, they have to do this better, they have to do this better. Nick, I'm in a spot now with both the Royals helping me see with the Huskers. We got to learn to love these teams for who they are. The bar has changed.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel. Brought to you by App Foundation Repair on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on The Locker Room on 93.7 The Ticket, and we appreciate your support as well. Let's go to the Sartor Heyman text line, Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line, 402-464-5685 if you want to chime in. 6496 says, man, the 1 o'clock hour hits different. So doing something right, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We're always going to keep it real. That's what the locker room's about. So if you have any questions you want to know about anything, make sure, please ask us the question. So in the previous segment, we had talked about development. We were talking about from an actual on-field standpoint. I want to still maintain that development conversation, but I want to switch gears into the fact of off-field, or I guess the weight room.
Okay.
So to me, Corey Campbell it's a blessing to have him and his staff.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that is the best staff in the country. Yeah. Right? Like, first of all, look at bro. Why is he so big? Like, you got no business being that big still. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why are you walking out like that?
Right.
You know? But for real, he has so many different pieces and parts that he has Matt Hobbs, who does a phenomenal job, like helping get players who are injured get back to health, right? Get back right. Mitch, he does a bunch of your sports science stuff. So making sure tracking players, making sure they're okay, and that they're not taking too much of a workload, right? And if you don't understand this stuff, like there's so much that goes into making sure a player is right for Saturdays.
Yeah.
Right. And then he has like Coach CJ White, who was he was the head. Here's one thing about CJ White. He was the head strength coach for Coach Prime at Jackson State.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so he just has so many different parts, bro, that he has a cat, Will Morey, he was in the league for a number of years with the Eagles, under what Chip Kelly. So he was on his staff. He just has so many different parts. And then, even Corey himself, like I love Corey, but obviously I had a relationship with him prior to coming here because he was an assistant at Carolina. So that's when we developed a relationship. But if you look at the team and these young men compared to years in the past, they look grown. Like they're a lot. I wouldn't say like when we first came in, I need to say this. No, I just need to say
no, just say it.
They was pudgier. They was they wasn't as fast across the board, right? You'll still have your people staying out, right? But they're slimmer, they're cut up, right? They look like a Power 5 team. I remember when Michigan came here last year, and I'm looking at their sideline, I'm looking at ours, and I'm just like,
oh boy, what they be feeding now?
Yeah, but like, why is this? It shouldn't look so different, right? And so Corey and staff has done a phenomenal job of getting that team right. Like, they can go bar to bar with anybody now, right? And so I think he does a tremendous job. Him and his staff do a tremendous job of preparing these guys to embody or go through any trial and tribulation they're going to have throughout the course of the season. And so what have you seen, maybe, because you know how important the weight room is, how important nutrition is, all that, in order to keep yourself right.
Yeah.
What do you think you're seeing as a difference?
Yeah, I think the number one thing I'm seeing is guys adding mass to them.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just simple. I mean, you see Jamari Butler, you see Tommy Hill, you see a guy like Javen Wright, even Ty Robinson, just the cleaner cut. I see stronger people on the field. Fedoni looks good. Borgacher added weight. Lindemeyer looks more cut. Banks looks strong. Even a guy like Jalen Lloyd looked like he put on some muscle. Ramir Johnson looks a lot. I mean, I've been with him since 2021, right? And the way his body is transformed during this time. IGC looks a lot bigger. So the guys it's not only like, obviously you're going to see the growth in the freshman guys, right? You're going to see the growth because it's the first time they get into a college system. So the guys like Van Poppel and those type of guys, they're gonna look bigger, and because it's just a dramatic change. But the guys who've been in college programs, guys like Nash, guys like Ty, guys like IGC, guys like Ramir, seeing the way their body has changed, or even Emmett Johnson, the way their body has changed during this time, it can only go to, I'll say it like this, it goes to Coach Campbell, and it also goes to as a whole body, the Nebraska staff using the resources they have.
Right.
Because I think that was the number one thing I was frustrated with when I was playing is, man, like we have like the budget for food is almost unlimited, right? Like there's no budget. Like there's just, you just, whatever it is,
go
just,
get it.
You sign the check, right? The amount of like resources as far as like we should have had massages every week.
Which they now do.
We should have had, I mean, it would get to a point where people would complain about us trying to get, like different things, right? And now I think Rule has planned it in everyone's brain, and there's not a lot of carryover from like staff wise. I think that's a good thing. You need to clean staff. You have to clean that old mindset. I think that's really what it was. You clean the old mindset. There are a few guys in the athletic training, or not athletic training, but in the training room, which one am I blanking right now? Physical trainers. Is that right?
But none of
PT guys.
None of them are or with the football team though.
Yeah.
That's all new.
Exactly.
So
it's like kind of a clean slate, because like we got to get out that mindset that we're working for a championship.
Yeah.
Like everything is geared toward a championship. The way we spend money, the way we spend our time, the way we get rehab, the way we recover, the way we the food we buy, the supplements we give the guys, the water jugs, everything is for a championship. And so I'm definitely seeing that with Corey Campbell and Corey and that staff. I've able to work out in there, and I've even done some of the workout plans that Corey has. Like they're legit. Like they're legit stuff. Like this is cream of the crop stuff. But I would say the amount of time that these guys are getting with Corey is more than they usually get with a position coach.
No doubt.
Because you're getting like from January to August is all strength staff. So what you're seeing on the field right now is really a product of what's happening in the weight room.
And as the season continues, it'll be the weight room that does it.
Yeah.
Right? As the season goes on, are we getting stronger? Or are we falling off? Right.
Yeah. Because this is the time right here. Yeah. This is the time.
Even if you look at a game last week, right? We didn't start great, but we finished strong, right? They got tired. They quit.
Oh yeah.
Purdue quit.
Yeah, they quit.
We didn't catch stride till late. Now, do we want to see that happen earlier?
No.
Yeah. We want to see them catch the stride earlier, no question. But the fact that they could still do it that late and get stronger, that's weight room. That's okay. I've done all my conditioning. I've lifted all the weights I need to do. I've ate right, right? Kristen and her staff and the nutrition department. You know what I mean? So there's so many different things that goes into it. And there's a lot of things that you could pick apart, but there's a lot of things that we could congratulate or give a round of applause to as well. And that being one of them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you look at the guys and how a guy like Gifford is an interesting guy, right? So he has to play like these two kind of positions where he has to be fast, but he has to be super strong.
Yeah.
Right. And he has to be able to take on blocks, but he has to be able to cover guys that run 4.2s and 4.3s. Right. So seeing a guy like that develop, I got to see him in media days and, neck about big as heck. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that's the type of things you want to see in a football team and in a championship staff. This is the title of the show. How close is Nebraska to playing championship level football? Well, it starts in the weight room.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And he not only that, but he's developed, like, the standard is implemented through him, right? Discipline. He does the discipline, right? Mm-hmm. And so he's the first touch, and like you said, he spends more time with them than anybody, right? And so you got to have a guy in that room that gets it. Yeah. And Corey, people say, why was Todd Gurley here last week? Well, that's because him and Coach and Corey played together at Georgia. Right. So let's not lose sight of that. That boy played at Georgia. Not only was he playing at Georgia, he was a captain. Right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a captain. Right. He had a C on the chest.
There you go.
So he gets it from their side, but then he also gets it from the standpoint of a coach and understanding what he needs to do to get you prepared. And that's the biggest blessing of Corey Campbell.
Yeah, that's awesome. And outside of when you're outside of the game of football, especially like college, you kind of see that things are so necessary.
Yeah.
Like I used to sometimes be like, man, I understand that like there's a process and I understand, we have to do things a certain way and, how strict and whatever it was. Right. But when you're outside of it, like, man, that's so necessary. And that's what, and some of the guys have said, like, man, in the offseason, like, it's some of the hardest stuff you'll do. Right. With this Nebraska staff. So shout out to Coach Campbell. Shout out to all the strength staff. Shout out to all them boys. We appreciate you, and I know the players do as well.
Yes, sir.
One more segment here on The Locker Room. We'll be back after this.
Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we are out of the gate for September with a very special GMC sales offer. We must move out all new GMC truck inventory fast. So right now at Koppel, we are offering true GM supplier pricing for everyone. Yes, you heard right. True GM supplier pricing on all GMC Sierras. That's over $12,000 off on select models. That's GM supplier pricing, $12,000 off on Sierras. Do not wait. Stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com.
Hi, this is Jay Foreman. Join me, Old School, live from Cornhusker Bank at 83rd and O Street this Friday for their customer appreciation tailgate party from 4 to 6 p.m. Larry the Cable Guy will join us during the show, and there's free food and refreshments. That is this Friday from 4 to 6 at Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and O Street.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
Hey, Nebraska football fans, it's defensive lineman Ty Robinson, and I've got a winning play for you with Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Team up with Action and install a new Bradford white water heater in your home. And if we win the conference championship this season, you'll get a full refund. Don't fumble this opportunity. Sack your old water heater this season and score big with Action. Visit actionlincoln.com/Huskers to learn more.
Promotion valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and it will be breezy. We'll see an afternoon high around 84. Tonight, mostly clear skies with an overnight low around 50. And tomorrow, we'll see more sunshine and breezy conditions return. Afternoon high around 85. Our meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And Electrical.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel. Brought to you by F Foundation Repair on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I don't care.
We are back in the locker room here on 93.7 The Ticket. One segment to go, guys. I'll send it to you.
Oh, yeah, we're back with the locker room. Chancellor Brewington. Across from me is Mikey Daniels. So we're just talking about Nebraska being what Nebraska has to do to be a championship team. And I think the next thing we talk about now is the recruiting game. We have a big recruit coming into town. USC commit, 4-star wide receiver. Now, when I look at Nebraska, I can see kind of in the future of what's going to happen in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And I think your number one catalyst in recruitment, your number one attractor in recruitment is Dylan Raiola.
No question.
And you see now Ja'Cory Barner starting, playing as a true freshman, being the most explosive player on the team. You got Dylan Raiola. You got Carter Nelson playing as a true freshman. You got all these young guys playing, right? And that adds some juice and that adds some leverage in the recruitment game, because now you're seeing recruits see like, oh, wait, he's a true freshman. That could be me next year.
Yeah.
Or me my first year in college. So I want to talk about what Nebraska needs to do in the recruitment game. And what Nebraska, let's say we finish 9-3. I think a lot of the crystal ball things of, where this guy going to go, I think a lot of them are going to fall to Nebraska, because people are seeing you get them on campus, right? You get them to a game, you get them to a night game specifically. You get them around the facilities, you let them see the resources. You get them around the players, let them see the locker room, all these type of things. Things change, and then you add winning on top of it. I don't think people understand what's about to happen in the recruitment game.
On top of that, Coach Rule is a phenomenal, he's elite. That might be the best thing about, he's elite in the recruiting game.
Really? What specifically?
He just so prophetically when he speak, everybody listens. He controls the room, and he's just so well spoken. It's unbelievable. And what is recruiting? It's speaking.
Right.
It's can I get you to feel me? Right? Do you feel what I'm putting down? Are you picking it up, or where you at? Right. And so he's just so good at personalizing it and making you feel like, hey, this is probably home. On top of that, he has developed his staff in that same way. Him and his staff, but then probably the best recruiters I ever been around.
Really?
No doubt. There's another cat who really sticks out to me too. His name is Dan Jackson. He's the defensive coordinator from at Idaho now, but he was with the what's it called? Vanderbilt last year. He was with me at South Dakota State, but he's an Omaha cat. He's from Omaha. And so he's probably the best, top two, but Rule's elite, bro. And on top of that, you do have Dylan Raiola.
Right.
And he picking up people in the Sprinter van and bringing them in town. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Someone in the text line just said, or in the YouTube, just said they wish it was a 5-star kicker.
I was wondering when you started to geek out over there. I'm like, what's he talking about?
Oh, no, that's funny, though. That's funny. But this is what you want, though. You want a staff that can recruit. Because if you can just win football games, that's great. That's great. That's what you want to do. But you want to, it's all successes in succession. You always want, someone to follow your success. And in the recruitment game, that's by getting these young stars, these young Thundercats. I want to touch a little bit now on Rutgers game. There's kind of a running back matchup, I would say.
Yeah.
It's kind of a duel. And whether the guys see it like that, they probably don't. There is competition within themselves. But I kind of see Kyle Monangai and in company. There's another back that has pretty good stats and is running pretty good against this Nebraska team. And I'll be even bold enough to say I would say the running back room, the rushing yards, the team that I would say established the run game early and is most dominant probably wins this game.
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. The difference, though, right? They have Cadillac Manis.
Yeah, and we got Dylan Raiola.
You know what I'm saying? Cadillac Manis at quarterback, he's a joker. I'm sorry. I don't believe in anything he does.
Right.
Whenever I was on the sideline last year up at Minnesota, I'm just like, this is really a quarterback that I'm watching play football right now?
Yeah.
It just disturbed me.
Yeah. Anytime you see a quarterback carry out his fake full speed, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Like he was in a duel with Jeff Sims. I love Jeff, but he not 1.5.
Yeah, not even.
You know what I'm saying? Like
same stratosphere.
No, exactly. And so I agree with that. I think that Emmett, if truly let off the leash, like Kyle, I'm big on Kyle, and I've been, from Rutgers, number 5. I'm big on him, and I've been talking noise to those running backs all year about him. I've been putting this in their head, no question. So yeah, and they've already known about him. Obviously, you have to know game recognized game. But if Emmett's truly let off the leash, I don't think it's even close. Here's another thing. Our defense is significantly better than theirs at stopping the run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're not very good at stopping the run, especially because they play they don't play a defense that stops the run.
Right.
They're a defense that is fit for stopping the pass. So it opens up Nebraska in the run game.
But their O-line they're more favorable than ours.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so it's a lot, right? It's all chess.
Yeah.
It's not checkers, it's chess.
Yeah.
And I think that I love this matchup for that reason, right? We have a really good D line and a good run stopping defense. They have a really good O line. right? They have good running backs. We're good on the back end, right? Like so there's just so many different moving parts that I'm excited about this game. It's the first 3 o'clock game, right? It's a 3 p.m. kickoff. 2?
Yeah.
Well, 3 Eastern. I live in Florida, I guess.
There you go.
But yeah, so 2 o'clock kickoff, and I like that time.
Yeah.
Because you're not waiting around all day, but you're also not up at 6 a.m.
This is my favorite time to play football.
Yeah.
1:30, 2 p.m. kickoff. I hate 11 a.m. games, and I don't mind night games, but I love playing throughout the day.
Yeah.
Because then you have enough time to hang out with the family after the game, do all that good stuff, whatever. You still have like some time to recover, but you don't have to sit around all day. Nebraska gets this done against Rutgers, anticipating them being a top 25 team because I think Rutgers has a lot of power points.
No doubt.
And so
they should be.
Yeah. And so if they get in, now the ball gets rolling. Now the ball gets rolling. You get 2 wins, and then you go into a really, really good Indiana team. And they got Northwestern. We're going to see a little bit more of what Indiana is going to be, because I think Indiana is one of them teams where they could surprise a lot of people, because some people think, Indiana is just going to end up just fizzling out. But based on their offense, I mean, their quarterback's already thrown almost 1,400 yards.
What their coach say? I win.
Google me. Just win. Google me is crazy.
That's what he said. That's what Indiana coach said.
Google me is crazy, Bach.
Now, here's the thing. Tell me if you agree or disagree. I think this game is the truest form of Nebraska football that we have seen all year. And what I mean by that is it's not the hype of Colorado, but it's not a night game where it adds a lot to it. It's not an 11 o'clock kickoff, and it's not to me, this is the most truest form of what we should see of Nebraska this season to this point.
Wow. I like it. I like it. This is the biggest test, because you and I week, whatever people want to say, how can Nebraska handle success, whatever it is, I don't buy into that. What I buy into is, can you repeat it and get better?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. You and I week, there are some things didn't really get better. Illinois week, right? Illinois to Purdue, there are some question marks. Got a better finish in fourth quarter. Now Purdue to Rutgers. How can we get better? What areas do we have to put on film to get better? And what things looking? And I know how coaches be. There's going to be some things that we do this game that are preparation for Indiana, in weeks to come.
We have a bye week too coming up too.
Exactly,
which is nice. Next week they have a bye week.
Oh, it's after this next week?
So,
oh man, you have to go into a bye week with a win.
You have to.
Bye week with a loss is the worst feeling.
Cannot do. It's homecoming too.
Worst feeling.
I forgot about homecoming. I seen it on Twitter. It's homecoming this week, I guess.
Yeah, I don't really understand homecoming in college.
I don't either. What's that even mean?
I remember homecoming in high school. You got the little dance, all that good stuff. But homecoming in college, was that like sorority, frat stuff?
Yeah, they'll put like floats downtown, but that's all about as much as I know about
Bach, you look like you be a frat boy. You was in the
no,
frat?
I never was. No.
Really?
No.
You just got that. Yeah, you got that frat boy look. If y'all can see, he's a handsome man. Don't get it wrong. He just looked like he
said, yeah.
Hey, shameless plug, right? Come on, Bach. Put you on. No, but like I said, I think it's the truest form of what we should see this year. It's a perfect storm for us to go out and show, okay, we weren't a fluke by going in the top 25. Illinois is actually legit.
Actually legit.
I mean, they went toe to toe with Penn State for a minute, right? And so I think this is a good one. I think this is, either way, it'll open up eyes. Whether it's our eyes being opened up because they're not as good as we think, or whether it's the country's eyes being opened up because they're better than the country thinks.
Yeah. No, I think this is a good test, and it will cause Nebraska to get better. Either way.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's a tight game or a blowout, I don't know what it's going to be. I personally don't think Rutgers is as good as a 4-0 team. That's my personal belief. But at the end of the day, Nebraska going to have opportunity to show the world what's going on. Because eyes are on Nebraska this year. I mean, you can't escape it. You can't escape it.
Eyes on me.
Absolutely. Great show today, guys. And we look forward to the rest of the week of the Locker Room. Tune in Thursday and Friday from 1 to 2, as we will do from week, moving forward in the weeks. But let's take a quick break. On the Block coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
worried about storm damage causing issues with your basements? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers